What's up, guys? I'm here with my lovely assistant, Coach Craig. My name is Professor Demetrius from DM Jiu Jitsu, and we're going to be showing you in this video 10, maybe more, but 10 defenses. 10 defenses to underhook guard passes. Sometimes single underhook, sometimes double underhook. Let's be real, most of the people who train Jiu Jitsu are doing double underhooks. They're not single underhooking anymore. Makes the triangle too easy. So we're going to show you guys 10 of those. We do have timestamps in our description, so if you want to skip ahead, you can, but I suggest checking them out because I guarantee there's a couple on here that some people just, you guys don't know. I guarantee you don't know, but unless you're Hickson Gracie, respect, he might know. All right, so let's get to it. First one, Coach is going to be over here in the open guard. He's going to start with his elbows. He gets the double unders. Let's just make this clear right off the bat. If he gets my knees above my head, you're super late for any of the moves that we'll be doing today. So what I don't want is him to hop up, stack his professor a little bit like this, and then continue his pass. This is all bad. Okay, so for starters, we're here. Okay, he starts to get underneath. Block him here if you can. Block him here if you can. If he does get connected, you're gonna have to spread the legs, straighten the legs, raise the hips, pull the arms. You gotta disconnect that, okay? But right off the bat, if I can get my hands here and kind of keep him at distance, then what I can do is I can use my thumbs to sort of open his gi lapel. Okay, now I'm gonna shape my arms to like kind of mold them to Craig's neck. So I go here with my thumbs, bring this in. Now I lock my legs around my arms. And now it's gonna create a pretty serious choke when I start to go. Now, if you try to do that while you're stacked, you're gonna take the worst of it because your weight, his weight is all gonna be above your neck. And even though you're squeezing, you're gonna probably feel worse than he does. So try to do this before you get stacked, all right? So one more time, we're here. He goes in, block, walk it out, legs up, squeeze and finish. Okay, technique number 2 is gonna be what we call like a tunnel Americana. And this one again, double underhooks. So Coach is here. He starts to get the arms under. Don't let those hands connect. If they connect, you're gonna have to separate them. So again, stretch your legs, spread your legs, hips up, pull hard, boom. Get them open, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna walk back on my shoulders and I'm gonna control one of his sleeves. Now you have really 2 ways to kind of do this. Number 1, I step on his hip and I elevate my hip, and that gives me a chance to take one foot and pass it across, okay? Or the second idea, if that doesn't work for you very well, is you guys can just enter the hook inside, flare, and as I flare his knee, I turn to my left a little bit. Now I take that same foot and again, I pass it across. So Tim, come around this way. So you can see that on the other side now, my one leg, my left leg has threaded all the way through this tunnel and is hooking with the shoelaces on the side of his hip, okay? Now if you come back to this side, you'll see that I have his wrist here, outside my leg still. If his wrist travels inward, then I lost everything, guys, no go. Here, good to go. So I grab like this, I pull his hip in towards me and I slowly start to extend my left leg, which creates a really tight shoulder lock right here, okay? One more time. So here he gets underneath, a couple of blocks, walk it out, grab the sleeve, pick your variation to get your foot through. I like this one, it's a little quicker. Hand reaches up, grabs the belt, hands in a good position, foot's in a good position, squeeze, and finish, okay? All right, technique number 3 is similar to technique number 2, but some people have trouble getting their foot across, so this one might work better. So on this one, same thing, double unders, keep those hands separate, don't get stacked, walk it out, control the sleeve, okay? Now, if you want to control both, that's fine, but we're really going to just need one for this particular shoulder lock. Now what I do is I kind of step my foot into the cave, almost like a butterfly hook position, and I start to extend it. And now I'm going to take the opposite leg, and I'm going to bring it over my partner's head and enter it into the same hook position. So I have 2 against 1. Now I reach up and I grab here. Now this creates twice the power in my shoulder lock. And what happens is as I start to extend, it kind of sprawls his hips down and creates way too much pressure on the shoulder and gets the finish. Is that worse than the first or the same? How do you feel?
Worse.
I mean, 2 legs are better than 1 in this situation, I guess, right? So one more time, we're here, he gets underneath, keep the hands separate, even if they connect, break it, come back, right? Now from here, hook number 1, extension, that gives us a nice angle. This goes over, hook number 2, grab the belt, and finish. I really feel like it's extremely tight as soon as I get my foot in, so be careful on this one, guys. Okay guys, technique number 4 comes off of the previous technique, so we're gonna need to get our double hooks in the same position. So this time I'm gonna be looking to take his back. So from here, as soon as he gets in with the doubles, fight the hands, back up, control the sleeves. I always like to step on the hips too. If I didn't mention that earlier, you guys should kind of be doing that. That keeps their hips back. The idea here is that everybody's leaning forward because their hips can't come in, but their upper body is being weighted down by the legs, right? So now from here, I set my first hook, 1. Now I take this leg, transfer it over, hook number 2. Now in this one, I'm gonna go palm up. So I'm gonna grab like this, and now I have a nice handlebar, and I wanna get myself up like this. So come off of your elbow, because if you're on your elbow, you won't be able to do what I'm about to do that well. So come up like so, put your hand on the floor, take the outer hook out, and now I'm gonna pull myself into Craig. So I hop over here, and I pull here, okay? Now as soon as I get to here, you see that I have one hook super deep, and instead of throwing the second one up and falling off, or maybe not getting it, I'm gonna drag him down instead. And the easiest way to do that is to break down this arm. Because if I want to drag him this way, his base is gonna come from his elbow. So if I tried to go here, it's a little bit exaggerated. Not that he would go that far, but pulling him here, he feels like a, you know, like a rock. It's hard to move the guy. But from here, if I drive a little bit away and close down like so, now I pull him and drive off the back leg, I have an opportunity to put my second hook, or I can cross my feet if he's still defending that and start to work against his neck, making him think more about that. I can give him a little stretch and then place the second hook from there, okay? One more time. So here, double unders, fight the hands, walk back, hook number 1. Transfer the leg, hook number 2. Palm up grip, hand on the floor, foot outside, boom, come up, okay? From here, over, under, maybe attack a little bit. Now I'm gonna break down this elbow here with my right, okay? Pull, connect my feet. From there, I can start attacking the neck, possibly choking or threatening the choke. And then when I have a chance, I like to bring this over his hip, cross my feet, stretch. Second hook goes in, continue to look for the submission. All right, guys, technique number 5 is a pretty sick arm lock that you can do if you have a little bit of strength and you can pull the person over the top. Of course, it's more technique than anything, but you do need a little bit of juice for this one.
Yeah, little hot Cheetos.
Little hot Cheetos. Coach Craig living off hot Cheetos, and if you roll with him, you might start eating them too. Real quick, shout out to our cameraman Tim, who's trying not to breathe because this camera picks up everything. Thank you for that, Tim.
No problem, Professor.
All right, so let's get it. We're over here, technique number 5. So we're here, he starts to get in, same thing, I fight the hands, I walk it out, okay? I'm gonna hold the sleeve again, enter the same way as the previous 2 techniques. So I start to flare, I lift this leg up, double up. This time I'm gonna come up and get a palm down grip. Previously we did a palm up, we took the back, now I'm doing a palm down. Now on this one, I really wanna see if I can kind of push his arm and give him space if he wants to try to pull it in. That's always good for me. I don't want it all the way inside, but as long as it's in between my knees, we're in business. Now, I'm gonna reach from outside my leg to inside my leg. And as soon as I start to flare this up, like so, we're in business here. I just start to lift them, rock them back, bring my legs in, hips in, grab the arm, pull, finish, okay? On this one, the pull that happens between my knees really kind of gets the ball rolling, and then the rest has to be done, of course, with your leg strength. So here, double unders, fight the hands, walk it out on your shoulders, hook 1, flare it, hook 2, enter, palm down. Now from here, I kind of come up, straighten, and grab a hold of this bad boy. Even if he tries to bring it in closer, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm behind his tricep, we're in shape. Now I start to lay back, and at the same time I pull and elevate the right hook, but the left hook is pushing the ground. So here, boom, catch and finish. All right, number 6 is going to be a technique that we can use when we get one really strong grip on the guy's collar. And this one's actually gonna lead us to number 6, number 7, and I think even number 8. So let's check it out. So we're here. Again, I wanna be kind of early as he gets in. I'm holding here. Maybe I try to push him away a little bit, but right now I'm holding his collar with one hand really hard, okay? Now what I wanna do is I wanna kind of stiffen my body. So I don't wanna let this dip in my hip remain, because then he can jump up and he can pass later and stuff like that. So right now I kind of almost press everything away. I want to shove him back enough to create space to be able to throw one leg over his head. So right now, I'm not waiting necessarily for the stack. I'm just kind of pressing, and then I kick this leg over like this. Now, if you see what's happening here, I'm hanging my leg off of his collar, and I'm giving myself a little space. Like if I go back a step, and I have this way up here, and I try to bring my leg through it, it's gonna break my own grip. So I gotta make sure I have enough space to pass my leg kind of over his lapel like this. Now this looks like he can pass to his left, my right, but it's not easy. And notice how I'm up on my elbow too, very important. So right now he tries to move around that way, super hard, but the reason his right hand's on the ground is because there's a constant pressure downward. Now I take this foot and I sneak it underneath his armpit like this, and now I start to lay back, like I'm pushing off my hand, lay back, and I grab this, like so. So once I have this collar right here, excuse me, this sleeve, I'm gonna step on his hip, I'm gonna pass my foot over, I'm gonna kick this leg out, grab, finish, and triangle. Okay, one more time. So here he gets in, kind of back up, push him away. Got a little bit of space, I stiffen, and I kick. Boom. See how his arm went to the ground? Now I fish out the armpit. Don't go here because you're gonna jump over your, yeah, easy, right? But we're gonna go here. Hard to get away from that. Now I go back, I push off of this, go back, grab the sleeve, step on his hip, pass this over, keep these two grips. Now I deepen it, grab the shin, lock, finish triangle. What if the previous technique is not fancy enough? You know. All right, technique number 7 is similar. In the beginning, we're gonna be holding that collar really tight. We call that a power grip. So we're gonna get the power grip, but we're gonna switch up the submission. So from here, same thing, coach gets underneath. As soon as he does, I block. I wanna walk out a little bit, stiffen, as we talked about, making sure to leave a little gap for my leg to kind of pass over his head, right? So as I get here, I kick my leg off of his head like this, and now I'm kind of in that same scenario. Now, I'm gonna look to fish this out, but as I bring it back, we're not gonna take this leg and throw it over the head. Watch the difference. So as I pull back here, like this, I'm gonna take this arm and pull it over so that my shin is kind of across his neck. Now I will feed him closer to my shoelaces and lock over his head here. So if you notice, this leg is underneath, this leg is on top, creating what looks to be a cross choke. So I have this in front of me as an arm bar, I frame off the neck, cover that awesome cauliflower ear, and I squeeze, and that was just strictly choke. This time I lift, and we got arm lock. So legit choke though, right?
Yeah.
It's super legit, super tight, very similar to like a gogo plata if you like to play that kind of game, except we're using 2 legs. So one more time. Here, kind of walk it out, get my power grip, throw the leg, stiffen, boom, come back. Now here I fish, and I come back. Once I get here, watch the transfer. So I take my hand, and I'm gonna let this go, and pull this here. Now I kind of feed and lock. From here, it's all legs, and from here, it's all armbar. Okay, and if you can do both, then, I don't know, maybe get on the cover of a magazine. It's all good. All right, guys, next one, number 8. We're getting serious now. We're getting serious, but we gotta be careful because this one's gonna take us into a position called honey hole. They call it Senkaku 411. Most of you may know what that is if you're a higher belt. I think in jiu-jitsu, they kind of let like brown belts and above really open up on the leg locks, but like blues and purples, I think you guys got like mainly straight foot locks. I don't know, check the tournaments that you're in, make sure that this is allowed if you like it, and also make sure your academy allows it. Because I don't want you guys going to your professor and be like, some bald guy on YouTube was showing some kind of crazy leg lock and he told me to do it. Check with your professors. So, same position, power grip situation. So I'm here, block them out, stiffen, kick over. Now on this one, Craig's arm is nowhere to be found. Maybe it's behind him, maybe it's behind my leg, maybe it's, I don't know, it's just not there. It's not in a place where I can fish it out with my other leg, okay? So what I'm gonna do instead is I take the top leg, the one that's weighing down his collar, and I'm simply gonna enter it here. Now I could pull him into De La Riva game and stuff like that, but this one's actually a really great place to enter the leg entanglement that we talked about. So from here, I'm gonna start to take my other foot, cross it behind his knee, and now I wanna push off of this elbow or hand. I like my elbow. So I start to kind of elevate my hip as if I'm going to bring it up to the ceiling. And then I mirror my knee behind his knee, maybe even a tad further. Now watch, as I sit him back, I start to fall and I pull this hook and sit him here. I'm going to have a chance now to grab this knee for a knee bar. Okay, now when I do that, I don't want his foot to rotate this way, because if he starts to turn that direction and rotates, he can have a good chance to escape. So the key is, from here, to get myself adjusted behind his knee, and then use my head to stop the foot from its rotation. So I go here, okay? Now from this position, I'm gonna start to kind of put my shoulders back and catch. Some people do like a rear naked choke. Some people like to just kind of hold the leg. Whatever you like is fine, but don't let that foot rotate. So here, lock a triangle, hold the leg, shoulders back, finish. Okay, one more time. So here, boom, stiffen, lock, try to get underneath his leg, bring this foot behind, okay? Now I scoot into him a little, hold. Okay, as soon as I get here, I turn. Rear naked choke, finish. You're using your hips more than you're actually pulling, but you gotta use your upper body and your head to stop the foot. So make sure that at the end, just like an arm bar, your hips go in, this is all already attached. Here, it's all hips. Boom, okay? All right, now we're gonna take it down a notch, bring it down to something that's a little more basic, and this is going to be a defense that we can use to either recover your butterfly guard or possibly take your partner's back. So let's see. We're gonna start off here, same thing as usual, double unders. Now from here, again, I really don't wanna get stacked, but this one, if I do get stacked a little, I still might have a chance. So what I like to do is I start with the hands, but then I cross over. So I go here and I go here. The goal is to get my palm underneath the back of his elbow. And now, again, I don't want to get ultra stacked, but the goal is to kind of brush past his head using the strength of my leg, and that's going to help me to sit myself up to my left hand. So watch what happens. My leg kind of goes through Craig's head, boom, like this. Now I don't expect him to chill, right? He's either going to try and face me or I'm going to try and face him, but something else has got to happen. We're not going to stay here. So what I want to do is move my hip here. Now as he tries to face me, I have a perfect opportunity to grab as an arm drag, pull, come up, and we can use the previous techniques that we did where we kind of break our partner down. You guys can go into like a truck position, you can go into calf locks, second hook, whatever you like from there, but it's a great opportunity to attack is the point, right? So one more time. He gets here right off the bat, cross over, grab the elbow. If that elbow stays down, this ain't gonna work, okay? So we gotta make sure we get it up. Now, don't wait for the stack, kick through the head and jump start that push of the elbow. So that push it all the way over there, look. Boom, I wanna grab material. Now this hand allows me to move. So I push my feet here, come up and attach, break them down, hooks can go in, finish your attacks. Okay guys, technique 10 to defend the double underhook guard passes. This one's gonna work off of number 9 when I push the elbow, but he's gonna create a new problem, and I'll show you how to solve it. So from here, he gets underneath, same thing, stiffen up, keep him back, get this little elbow control right here. Now push through the head and sit up like the previous technique. Now elbow is good, hand is good, we just gotta get up to one of those two. So from here I kind of kick, boom. Now the one thing about the elbow is if I stay on my elbow and I stay too low for too long, he might be able to come across to the other side, jump over me, flatten me out. Ugh. I'll pay you back for that later, okay? But from here, if I can get up to my hand, that's hard to do for him, okay? Or if I work fast, that's hard to do. So the idea is to kick, boom. Now as he comes up, the problem with this for me is that I can't butt scoop back to the butterfly guard and arm drag him. But what I can do is start to kind of bring my legs underneath, my hips underneath, and hip heist him over to a sweep. So I go here, okay? Now I bring my elbow directly to the opposite side. I don't want to wait over here. You're asking for like Darce chokes and things like that, yes. So get your elbow over, boom, lock him down one more time. So here, lock, get underneath. The further under this I can get, the better the push, obviously, right? Now from here I kind of kick, boom, It's super powerful. Yes, I do have extremely strong Puerto Rican salsa dancing hips, but anybody can do it if you time it right. So you gotta pull that arm underneath you. Let's do it one more time just from this angle. So like give me your arm over here. When you do this, if this arm stays on the ground, it's not gonna work. So if I go like this, I'm not gonna make it work. But if I bring my hips up and push this under the tunnel, it works very well, and that allows me to get to side control, okay? So that pretty much concludes the video, guys. We hope that you enjoyed it. 10 pretty solid ways of defending the underhook pass. Now, you gotta learn ways of defending when people pass over your legs, and then of course when people pass around your legs. But we'll get to that soon. Hot Cheetos and Storm Kimonos. Hit us up if you want to sponsor Craig, and we appreciate everybody watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment. Let us know which of the techniques were your favorite. Thank you guys. Hope everybody's being safe and having fun training. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.